So I'm going to just quickly share my screen, um, and then we'll get going. All right, can everybody see?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. I hope you had a wonderful International Women's Day last week. Thanks for coming. We're really excited today to have our town hall be focused on the question, what happens when women are included? And this is in honor of International Women's Day. And really, it's kind of focused on the theme for this year. I don't know if you've been on the International Women's Day website, but their theme for 2024 is Inspire Inclusion. So we wanted to talk about how that connects to our work at OneVillage Partners. And we are going to be focusing today on two of our pillars, which are gender equity and social cohesion. And we're going to just be talking about how they relate to one another, like really strongly. And when we create spaces for women and for women's voices to be shared in gender equity, that actually strengthens and unifies communities, which is social cohesion. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about that and specifically the Nurturing Opportunities for Women program. But I just want to quickly introduce the speakers today. Bernadette Mustafa is our Nurturing Opportunities for Women program manager, and she's going to be sharing more about the NOW program. And Vanessa Wood is the communications supervisor, and she is going to be sharing as well a little bit more about our pillars in the NOW program as well. And my name's Taylor, and I'm the donor communications coordinator. So I'm going to hand it over to Vanessa.
Hi. I just saw that Bernie left, so I'm probably gonna yap her on longer than I have to so that she comes back on. So as Taylor really mentioned, although last week was International Women's Day, we're very intentional about using this month, the month of March, to still celebrate women since it is Women's Month, to really celebrate our work in gender equity and social cohesion, but really celebrate the women. We've really been hearing, and if you've been, following OneVillage Partners for a while, we hope it doesn't become repetitive because we every year, every program, every new now session or every new training, we are seeing the impact firsthand and we're hearing from women their livelihoods being changed, not just in one facet, but in a very multidimensional way. So as you hear Bernie speak on, hopefully she's back on. Yes, she's back on. Perfect. So as you'll hear Bernie speak on, you know, how gender equity and social cohesion really intersect. It's not just strengthening the increased access and household finances for women, which is amazing, but we're seeing that ripple on into their personal families and their personal livelihoods, and then we're also seeing that ripple on to their social networks and community engagement. And so I really want everyone to be really just open-minded, super excited to learn something new. We'll be sharing a lot about some of our women in agribusiness, a new program that we're starting. So I'm gonna, not we're starting, we have started, and I'm gonna hand that over to Bernadette so she can continue from there.
Hello everyone. I'm going to talk about how gender equity intersects with social cohesion. In our partners' communities, with the coaching and the training OVP provided for our participants and the community members, they have that open-minded to speak with one another. There is love existing. Everyone respects each other's opinion. Husband and male relatives now consider women in part of decision making, and this strengthens social cohesion. You can see when there is project implementation, women at the forefront mobilizing local materials, women give out their opinions on projects that is their first need, and also they consider themselves as partners in development.
Oh no.
Hopefully, hopefully she comes back. All right.
Maybe whilst Bernie's coming on and off, should we play the video and just kind of switch that around so that while we're waiting?
Sure, yeah. I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulty, so I think we'll come back to this slide in just a second. But right now we're going to actually switch over to a video about the Nurturing Opportunities for Women program and their agribusiness like focus. So I'm just gonna switch
Yeah.
over to that.
Oh,
Um,
Bernie's back.
yes, I'm back. Sorry, the network is fluctuating. So, like I was saying, also like in our project, women are actively involved in voting. They vote for their priority, voting for their first needs within the community. One
All right. I think
more also accommodate women and children. Yeah, out for example, the things are in a place where women and children and
It's never an online meeting if there's nothing technically going wrong. So um I will I'll probably message Bernie to just when she comes back on, we'll just switch to the video, Taylor, so that at least we don't she's jumping back on again. Okay. Oh, Bernie, you're on mute.
OVP empowered women in agricultural activities. Those women with the training they got from the basic technique and best farming practices, these women now contribute greatly to their economic growth of their communities, their family, and also a nature at large. You see that with the knowledge gain and also implementing it out there practically, they were able to have more yield. And they also like provide seed banks to the community for other farmers and also improve food security within their community and also as the nation. This help in saving more food and also improving well-being in their various communities. When we talk about the perception that women have, prior to OneVillage Partners intervention, you always see that women feel that, oh, we are just at the back seats, we are there to bear children, cook for our husband, attend to our husband's sexual desire. When it comes to meeting, developmental planning, it's the sole responsibility of the male counterpart. But with our trainings, our sensitization, both of the parties now complement each other. Men view women in equal and partnership and partners in their homes and community. When it comes to developmental planning, men encourage women to involve. During their meetings or project planning, you see that the men also encourage women to speak up, bring in new ideas, bring in more creativity that will develop the community as even as a household. So with all our trainings, you see that encouraging inclusive leadership and social cohesion, gender equity, women now have the active power to speak, while men also see women as developmental partners rather than be in competition with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernie, and thank you for powering through the Wi-Fi issues. All right, I'll go to the next slide.
Yes, Bernie did amazing. And, for it being chop and changing, really, just to kind of close off what Bernadette was saying was these, the topics that she, brought along, gender equity and social cohesion, although, when we say it in its own words, it sounds like two different things, but they really do intersect. And we're seeing women speak up. We're seeing their families give them more opportunities to speak up and be more included in community activities and in their homes. And, I, especially for us who may be in the West, I do want us to call out that we might be like, oh, how it should be normal, it should be easy. But these are, years of deeply rooted patriarchal and societal norms. And so seeing these women stand up in their homes and be able to use their voice, it is really an amazing thing. And we shouldn't forget that. So Bernie, thank you so much for sharing that. Next up, we're going to share a video highlighting that we were fortunate to do with Women Are Now, or Nurturing Opportunities for Women agribusiness program that we started a couple of years ago. And this program has shifted amazing. It has dramatically increased, and we are seeing increasing income. So we're seeing that sustainability, and we're seeing women be empowered financially, and we're seeing hunger reduced in their homes and in their community. We're seeing 95% of increased food security. We're seeing 100% of increased income, and we're seeing women, their economic and well-being just dramatically shift. And you'll see from the video just the power that brings. And so, Taylor, over to you.
All right. I'm going to switch over just a second to our video. Can everybody see that on your screen?
Yep.
Awesome.
In rural Sierra Leone, more than 80% of women are involved in agricultural food production. However, despite their significant involvement, food insecurity and hunger are still a challenge for these women and their families. At OneVillage Partners, we amplify the power of rural Sierra Leonean women through partnership. As partners, our goal is for all women in rural Sierra Leone to be equipped with the tools to improve their food security and increase income for themselves, their families, and their entire community.
Ante detecti wudi ya da ngoma ka jina na auto atumuga exercise festrigi tumuga gara aviana duan kwa viga pure wo jina e beji bena mo gin yo le sai mo go ke se ona na muka na ya de mo huma e mo ya bo mo maga ya gina ka ku lu ma binyo ku te ku reserve me na pate apena beji ba gba go de na o igi na mo fina be na mo te go na ka gbi do e ba go bo na ma pate igi bi te lo tumuga gara mo e be ta mo zi nine ego hotel or system ba mo egigi ego omo na fa de egigi na mfiro hotel na fa jebe wa mba ko gbe be buse na ni na to fimo mo gulo 64 buse mo e buse na ni na to fimo so na le na mo te ya ye to fimo ba.
Now agribusiness, the third phase of our Nurturing Opportunities for Women program, provides women with the training and tools needed to amplify their farming skills and agricultural opportunities.
So tumo garo aga na lu de ma ke bi ye yang ta ke ga go lo de pe fa ga go ta hi na ta ga ta ma ti mo ye be ma ga go be bi an ta ta pe bi na te ra ga ho ro mo pe mo ya ma mo de ga ma ke ga e ge o ti ale wo ka ro la ka ji te le ti nya ka ye ge ge bu na go ti ka e go pe go no zi le go hi le Galele pe watima pe tun ge amo si abeji na mo pifa bebeje opo ni mo ya pada o vi pine to program yi tele la le wa pe anya le bu ba pe go nya le ga bi pe ma pe bo kai bi go go ma yi.
Now agribusiness participants see remarkable results. Through the training, women like Massa and Adama are increasing their food security by 95%, reducing their hunger by 92%, and increasing their income by 100%. With their prior knowledge and newly learned skills, rural Sierra Leonean women are amplifying their power and economic freedom through the Now Agribusiness program. This is how we partner. We amplify the power and voices of women like Massa and Adama to solve their own poverty-related challenges. Join us, be a part of our journey. Together, We will continue to amplify more voices, more communities, and more Sierra Leoneans.
All right. We are going to switch back to the presentation. And I'm excited for the next part, especially we're going to be sharing some quotes from women that our team members have interviewed recently in Sierra Leone who have gone through the NOW program and have now gone on to be volunteer leaders in their communities. So I'm going to be reading this quote from Hawa Aliu of Masaima, and then I'll switch it over to Vanessa after that. But this is a quote from her just speaking about her experience with OneVillage Partners so far. She says, before OneVillage Partners came to our community, I was not a role model except in my home. When I joined the NOW session, I finally felt that I can use my voice. The NOW program led me to become a role model in Masaima community and even beyond my community. I was given the name Chair Lady. That's what everyone calls me. I can now speak in public, attend community meetings in and out of Masaima, and based on the training, I'm now doing petty trade on my own. I actually feel excited when I'm included in community meetings. I have grown as a woman and a leader to a different level. All right, Vanessa, I'm going to switch that over to you for the next one.
And Aisata, who I absolutely love, she was phenomenal during International Women's Day, and we spoke to her, and she's in Yandahun Junction. And so she said, before OneVillage Partners partnered with my community, I was a farmer and a petty trader over the years. It was out of farming work and my petty trade that my family survived. I have learned a lot through the Now Learning. Before this training, I could not do calculation on the goods I sold. I would use all the money I profited by buying other goods without saving. But now I'm grateful to the Now sessions because from that learning, I can now save and budget. Being included in meetings with the community members and authorities is very exciting. After the Now sessions, I'm included in decision making, and whatever is discussed, they allow me to give my contribution. And so I just want to kind of round that up to say what we're hearing from these women and even from the video is, as I said before, that the work that we do is very multifaceted. It is not gender equity and that is it, or it is not, financial, financial freedom and that's it. There is a lot of ripple effects that come out of it. And so your partnership with OneVillage Partners, coming today and hearing these stories, we are seeing the ripple effect. It is not just the individual lives, or it's not just the programmatic lives, but really we're seeing it in their homes, we're seeing it in their families, we're seeing it in their savings. So it's more than one dimensional, and it's really exciting to see. So that's how we really see that intersection between gender equity and social cohesion, because we're seeing the community and the networking and the support and the access all come together because these women are now, empowered financially. So really excited for that. So before we jump off to Q&A, I'm gonna hand it over to Bernie just to say a quick thank you, and we'll jump over to Q&A. So Bernie, over to you.
We want to say thank you for joining, and we wish you a happy Women's Month. Thank you all for joining.
All right. We're going to switch over to the Q&A portion at this point and just use the last 9 minutes up until 12:30 to answer any questions that you have. And I'm actually going to stop screen sharing so that way we can see each other as we talk. But yeah, if you have any questions or if you have any thoughts that came up, listening to the presentation, this is a great time to ask.
Yes, Paul.
Yeah, so thank you all. This was really cool and really interesting. I'm curious. My understanding is when you go into these communities, people are excited, you're well received. But as you're implementing the programming, what are some of the common challenges or barriers that you experience as you go into these communities?
Bernie?
Yeah, first, the first challenge we're facing one is the consent, like the informed consent of family members. Like most of these communities, men only thought that when their women being empowered, their women will be in competition with them. So seeking their consent for them to allow their wives, their family members to be part of the program, it's a big challenge. But however, with our strategies, our community engagement, our focus group discussions, we were able to calm them down and also like bring them on board that we are there to create where they can be as a developmental partners, but not as their wife will be in competition with them. So that's one way.
That's so good. Thank you.
Can I ask just a follow-up to that? Because that was another question I had, which is around the involvement of the men, right? I would expect probably some level of resistance from them as you're talking about changing some power dynamics or that type of thing. So how do you bring the men along in this journey, and how do they receive this overall?
Okay, let me start with the ACTS program. Like when we are doing our implementation, like in our selection criteria, we have 4 male and 4 female as a CAGs. Of course, for the now family section, we have like for both now 1, now 2, and now 3, each participant that is being selected will be accompanied by a family member or their husband. So we have a section that we call the family section, where we invite the 2 parties to actually come and learn and see for themselves actually the importance of this training. And also before embarking on, before partnering with any communities, we do our community engagement, where we bring in the communities together, we explain our models of approach, we engage the chiefs, the authorities in the communities, and after doing our selection, we also invite these participants to call their family members into a section where we will explain everything, we explain our profile to them, and they also will give their consent before allowing their wives to join the program. So we actually involve them in any of our development, in any of our trainings.
And just to add on that, I have, I'm really grateful as part of ComSig and hear so many stories of, men thinking they know it all and they know everything it is about, leadership and finances and being the head of the house. And hearing that they come to this now family session and they're like, wow, we learned something ourselves, right? And so you really then, you kind of see, I don't want to say ego because probably that's a lack of a better word, but you kind of see that shift within them because they're like, oh, I thought I knew it all and society tells me I know it all. And then I come and I hear a training about how to save and how to budget for my family. And they realize, wow, this is something that it's going to need both heads, it's going to need both parties. So it's really a really great initiative. And, being here, able to hear those stories, it's really amazing and quite humbling, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and recently, let me just share a highlight of one of our partners community in Bandajuma. When the male team were there to conduct a survey, unfortunately for them, they met and the town chief washing the dishes, and they were curious to ask, saying, oh, why are you doing this when your wife is here and you are washing dishes? And he replied saying that, oh, initially I thought like doing domestic work is only meant for my wife, but with the trainings, what I learned from the now section have really taught me a great lesson that I also need to assist my wife in the home. So something like that.
That's amazing. Thank you all. That's really great. Appreciate that.
I just want to add, thank you for it's really heartwarming to hear updates like this about how the program is doing, especially the shifts in culture and thinking, all of it going towards, thriving. One thing I would just want to, I'm curious, obviously, because of knowing how it is in the home, the mother is more close with the kids. Is there any stories how this is impacting kids, right? Especially children, girls, basically growing in the home. Are there any stories along those lines?
Yes, so there is also a section. In fact, in the starting of the curriculum, we have the voice page and the communication page. Like for the women also, they also have their own parts of the story. Like in most of the villages, when maybe they are discussing and the children came by and say, hey, mommy, I want to talk to you. They will shout out them that saying, oh, you don't have respect for elders. When elders are talking, you don't need to interrupt. But with the training, we teach them that even if you are in the middle of a discussion, when your child calls you, you have to respond to that individual. So actually listen to them. And also like mentor them that maybe within a month, maybe twice, you can have a family meeting where the father, the children, and the wife sit together and plan on how best you want your family like to be. And so like doing that, we have so many changes now. The wife listen to their children, mothers listen to their children and also pay attention. And also some children now have respect for their mothers because like they now be able to provide food for them. Like before this time, without no food, you see that most of African children, if you are not able to cater for the children, they will not have respect for you. But with the now learning and the now P3, which we empower them with food security, they now able like they have gained their respect from their children and now listen to each other.
Yes. And Bernie, I was going to add on that because, again, being able to hear those stories, I remember reading, I think it was something for international, either Day of Education or something. And I remember reading about a father just being like learning with my wife during the now sessions and now trainings. It's now impacting how he looks after his children and how he looks after his family. So it's not just, I'm the provider. I go and I don't, sometimes you don't spend time with your family because you're out there, trying to make money, but understanding budgeting, understanding food security, understanding how that impacts, you see that without the stress of what's the next income coming through, you're seeing families really rebuilding and reshaping how their family unit is. And so, as I say, the ripple effect of OneVillage partners and the programs, it's really amazing, and so it's not just the programmatic effects in the communities, but we're seeing it really deeply enrooted in like family and really generations, because you think about how these kids are going to grow up and say, this was the changes I saw, and maybe that's how they're going to implement going forward. So it's really inspiring. Yeah.
Does anyone have any last questions? Thank you so much, Bernie, for answering everything so far. But yeah, if anyone has any other thoughts, we have like a couple minutes left. Or actually, Bernie, would you want to share a little bit about the International Women's Day celebration?
Yes, so this year the International Women's Day celebration was really superb because we give an extended hand to the Ministry of Genders and Children's Affairs in Kailaun, and also OneVillage partners hosts International Women's Day in Daru, wherein we bring in the CAGs and other partners that are operating within the cohort of Daru. See like women giving out their voices and men also like complimenting these women, saying how best they can support the women. Like before, they only think that they are at the forefront, but they now see that women can really manage their resources more properly than them. So the program was really superb, and we are having over 195 people out there. So it was great.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Bernie. Yeah, and all right, we're at 12:30. We want to make sure everyone has time, for the rest of their evenings or for the rest of the workday. Or Vanessa, in your case, to go back to bed because it's 4 a.m. But thanks everyone for coming. I'm just gonna share right before we close this, I'm gonna send our just ways to get in touch with us if you have any other questions or anything. And you can go to our website or you can send us an email, like if you're thinking later after the town hall and wish that you had asked a question. So I'm gonna send that now. And yeah, I hope everyone has a great day. Thanks so much for joining us. And I hope you had a wonderful International Women's Day. last week. And we will be sharing the recording if you want to watch this again. So yeah, have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.